let's get started!
Honey, I know how hard you've been working your little tushy off for my sake, Muffin.
Miss Mindlayer, can you not talk with your fiancé in front of the camera? It's gonna make the viewers ask questions. And I'm not really good with dealing with those kinds of questions.
Okay.
Alright. Let's begin. Okay, here we go. Chapter 382. It's another Gunga Mountain chapter. But this time it's got a splash of Libra, a touch of McBoy, and a sprinkle of other wonderful stuffs. Like this huge chunk of rock that looks like the UA floating fortress. As you can see, it's very wonderful. Now do take note that this video will not be a full recap. We are just gonna be talking about things that don't make sense. But mostly just about this person and the clones. But before we start, let me say a little something. So there's been people telling me that this random news anchor looks ridiculously similar to a young Miss Mindlayer, specifically her anime appearance. At first I thought it's just a joke, because women in anime just tend to look similar anyways. Until I checked again. And only then I really noticed that they are, indeed, eerily similar to each other. Just look at them. They're both reporters of some sort, with the same short hair that's parted to the left. They also have the same short round eyebrows. Both also have eyes that are a bit smaller than average compared to the typical MHA female character. Furthermore, zoom out a bit, and you can see they are even wearing very similar long-sleeved dresses. Only this person has her sleeves pulled back. And finally, notice how both of them are extremely tall. They are the only female characters in the entire manga that are drawn with proportions like this. No other female character even comes close to this design. They are easily over 6 feet tall here. Also, I'm not sure if this counts, but both of them also have controversial views on a particular thing. So yeah, this American news anchor lady is literally just a young Miss Mindlayer, but with normal human colors. Simply amazing. But what's even more amazing is that this strange lookalike appeared 11 chapters after Death Note ranted about people leaving the country. I know he's kinda talking about the people in Feel Good Incorporated, but it just really makes you wonder. Okay, that's enough of stupid theories. Let's get on with the rant. So about chapter 382. It's got two distinct parts, the Libra part, and the deadline part. Allow me to rant and nitpick some stuff on the Libra part first. So about Libra. The main big thing about her in this chapter is that she cloned in some other people aside from the usual Deadpools. But as it turned out, the extra clones don't have any quirks at all. Libra herself doesn't know why this is the case, and Frogget can only make a guess. The real reason is kept vague. But if there's something I've been noticing with the clone army for quite a while now, which may or may not be tied to the real reason why non-Deadpool clones have no quirks, is that they're somehow all bloodthirsty psychos, completely different from the original Deadpool's goofy lovable idiot personality. At this point I wouldn't be surprised that the clone army are all just disguised Libras. This is probably intentional by the creator, as if to say that the real Deadpool is truly gone and can never be brought back. This in turn would make Libra extra sad and extremely vulnerable to the Talk no Jutsu technique, in which Telly would use to defeat her. I'm 46% sure this will happen. Anyways, stupid predictions aside. So about some of the clones turning out quirkless. I gotta say that it's actually a good thing for the villains that these guys didn't get any quirks. We've already seen Sunbird's attack style, and the guy just shoves his flames forward with utter disregard on those around him, which means his clones will just roast the other nearby clones, and also give a fiery upgrade to this guy's tornadoes. And then there's Handaman over here, whose decay will obviously just wipe out the ultra clumped up clone army first before it could even decay a single hero. Meanwhile the Deadline clones will just go monologue about how evil they are, before getting roasted by the Sunbird clones behind them, before burning up themselves. So yeah, it's definitely much better for the clone army to just be Deadpools and nothing else. Even though they are just easily beatable humanoid blobs with the durability of a wet tissue paper. But hey, at least they'll not sabotage themselves. Anyways, let's move on. So since the clones not having any quirks made Libra very sad, she then ordered her clone army to go forth and exterminate the heroes. The so-called order itself is a huge dark ominous panel that took up an entire page like it's supposed to be scary or some shit. But aren't the clones already on a kill order? They are literally yelling about it just 2 chapters ago. Why the repeat? Is it supposed to be more serious or something this time? To scare the readers perhaps? This kinda falls flat because there are no established reasons to fear the Infinite Sadman's Parade anyways. They've been here since chapter 376 and they haven't even done anything. Not even kill a single relevant hero. Not to mention now here's a high school girl just casually karate chopping them. And on top of all that, everyone already knows the creator hates killing off relevant characters. So yeah, the exterminate order is not threatening at all. Also, before I end the Libra rant and move on to the next. Why the f whenever Libra is part of a chapter there's always a scene of her butt or thighs. Or just straight up naked like this one here in chapter 382. What the f is this sh? I know Libra is the creator's one and only waifu, but come on. This is just f***ing bullshit. Okay, now that I'm done ranting about the Libra part, allow me to rant and nitpick on the deadline part. So about the whole Mr. Demon Lord part of chapter 382. The overall events that happened here are pretty much the same just like in the other 2 chapters before it, in which Deadline still got dunked on in the end. Being dunked on is basically Deadline's new role in the final battle now. Ever since chapter 380 the chapters have been consistently ending with him getting dunked on by one random hero character. First it was Libra Copy, the second time it was Daffy Duck, and now it's Mr. Brainwash Guy, commanding Big Boy to throw a huge chunk of mountain at him. But enough about the Deadline punching bag rants, let's talk about the real stuff. Deadline turning into a teenager. It's certainly a bit odd how he instantly turned this young considering he's well over a century old at this point. But this is probably just because the rewind he's using is a synthesized version instead of the real one, which could also be why it's represented by the adult version of the rewind kid instead of, you know, the rewind kid herself. Anyways, my only real question here is how come he's still using the same attacks as earlier? Isn't rewind supposed to rewind his quirks too? Or is it just affecting Deadline's outside appearance because his quirks work differently and are unaffected by standard rewind? I dunno. But then again, rewind as a whole is vague as f anyways. Overall, chapter 382 is pretty much just your usual Gunga Mountain chapter, just with added Libra parts. But basing off of the fact that Big Boy and some other characters have now entered the scene, it seems that the next chapter is now going to be focusing on what went down in this place, even though the outcome is already spoiled. And as for the impending talk no jutsu, I just gotta ask what the f is even special with these 3 idiots that the heroes just keep forcing themselves to try and understand them. What's with them that's not in other villains anyway? It seems that here in MHA all you need is a pity party sob story and heroes will immediately switch from trying to beat you up to trying to understand you instead. Apparently it's okay being a mass murderer as long as you're a sad misunderstood little kid deep inside. Such life-changing moral lessons. Little person, can you not talk about your babysitter's fiancé in front of the camera? It's gonna make the viewers ask questions, and I'm not really good with dealing with those types of questions.
Clever comrade, I am going to talk about Blue Woman's toys.
Okay, I'm ending the video.